good afternoon and good evening your time, and I welcome you all once again to the Leila Medat show. Hope you are all doing very well. As you all know, we are in the month of breast cancer awareness. That is why I'm even in pink, and today I'm honored to have one of our special doctor, the owner of this facility, Cedarville Hospital, located in Kokwe in the Volta region, Dr. Robert Doe Kofi. He is a special person. I mean, you send in your comments because you actually answer all the questions. I mean, all the questions that have been going through our minds every day. So, doctor, thank you so much for making time for us this evening.
Thank you.
Hope you are doing very well.
I'm honored with the opportunity given. I'm well. I hope you are well.
Very well, thank you. If I'm not well, at least we are already in the hospital room, so you just take care of me. Okay, so this hospital, before we start with this breast cancer education, what gave you the motivation, as a young person, just to want to give, people life?
Well, I believe that I am made for service, service to humanity. And in whatever form I can serve people, the best ability, in the best form I can, I go all out for it. So having worked in the government sector for some few years, I realized that there was more I could do by creating the platform to offer health services to people in Hohwe and beyond, and also in a way create employment. So that's what motivated me to start CEDA.
Wow.
And
that's very thoughtful. Wow. So, doctor, if we talk about breast cancer, we all know we are in the month of breast cancer awareness. We hear this every day. Let me be very honest. I've never even for once gone to say I'm doing screening. But luckily last year, my organization had the privilege to go through the screening process. So, what is breast cancer?
Thank you for the question. I will, before going into the specifics of breast cancer, I want to use the opportunity to educate the public what generally we describe as cancer. So cancers fall under a group we call tumors, meaning abnormal growths. Now, every part of our body is made up of certain foundations, certain building blocks, which we call the cell. So the body cells have a cycle they go through. So a new cell forms, it grows to a certain limit or level, and then it stops growing, and then it gets replaced by another cell, and then the cycle continues. That's how come when you trim your nails, it grows back. When you trim your hair, it grows back. Your skin keeps changing, just that you may not be conscious of it. Okay. So unfortunately, some of the cells begin to disobey the command to stop growing. They do not respond to that command to stop growing. They grow, keep growing, and go beyond their boundaries. So that is how tumors form. Now, tumors have two broad groupings. One that is deadly, can spread and affect the surrounding tissues or surrounding organs. That's what we call malignant tumors or cancers. Then those that we call benign tumors, they grow, they do not encroach on their neighboring tissues and don't go beyond their boundary and just remain there, but they grow in size. So there are certain breast diseases that are benign. There are certain breast growths that are benign. They don't cause death, they don't spread. And then there are certain breast diseases that are malignant, cancerous, they can spread. So when we say breast cancer, it is that abnormal growth or abnormal change in the breast tissue that has the ability to spread to other tissues or surrounding structures, or even distant tissues, even the brain. So cancer can spread to any part of the body, but typically breast cancer will spread to the lungs, the other breast, the bones, the backbone, the brain. But we'll go more into details when we get there.
Wow. Okay, so doctor, I would actually want to know the causes of breast cancer.
We haven't really identified one thing that causes breast cancer, unlike we see in cervical cancer, where we have been able to identify the human papillomavirus as the cause of cervical cancer. In breast cancer, we haven't been able to identify that. However, we have found out certain predispositions, certain predisposing factors or certain risk factors. In that, estrogen, one of the chemicals, the hormones, that is responsible for the growth of the breast or the female reproductive structures. When a person gets exposed to estrogen over a prolonged period, that person is likely or has a higher chance of developing breast cancer.
Could you explain that estrogen thing? The terms exactly.
Yeah. So, for a woman to develop and have the breast fully formed, fully grown, to be able to breastfeed and like form milk and breastfeed a baby, there are certain chemicals that the body produces. For a woman. These chemicals, we call them hormones. The hormones are the chemicals that the body produces to regulate certain functions. Estrogen and progesterone are specific hormones that females produce. Now, estrogen helps in the development of the breast tissue. That's how come a woman's breast, your breast, is more developed than my breast. I'm a man. You, as a woman, have more estrogen than I have. That's how come your breast is more developed. And you have more progesterone than I have. Though,
what is that progesterone?
Progesterone is also one of the chemicals that helps in the development of the female reproductive structures. That helps in you as a woman having your menstrual flow. That helps in the development of the uterus when a baby comes in there. So these are chemicals specific to women. Though men have a low or a little amount of that. But the estrogen, the volumes in a woman are so much compared to a man. So a woman that is on hormone replacement therapy, there are some women who, for some reasons, they have had surgeries that removed their womb and the eggs, their ovaries. And because it's the ovaries that secrete these hormones, if those hormones are not there, they have what we call premature menopause, and they'll be having several different symptoms: weakness, tiredness, hot flashes, and many other different symptoms. So some women are on those hormones as replacement therapy, so that they don't have severe forms of menopausal symptoms. So hormone replacement are given to such people. So people who have been on those hormone replacement therapy, meaning that there are tablets we give them or injections we give them to reduce their menopausal symptoms because their eggs have been removed, but from certain surgical intervention, maybe during fibroid surgeries. So these people have a higher risk of developing breast tumors or cancers. Also, women who have a prolonged duration of menses, meaning that you have had your menses very early in age, maybe 11, 12 years you have started your menses, and then by 50, 60 years before you stop your menstruation, meaning that your menstruation duration is long. So it means that you're having a continuous exposure to these hormones I talked about. So if you have had your period very early, which we call early menarche, the very first time you have your menses is what we call menarche. So if you have had a very early menarche and a late menopause. It means that in between, you have had several years of exposure to these hormones. You are likely to have breast cancer. Your chances are higher. Okay. It doesn't mean that you will have it. It just means your chances are higher. Now, the other thing is a woman who comes from a family where a female member of the family has had breast cancer, more especially a direct female member, a mother, an aunt, a grandmother. If any of these people in the family has had breast cancer, your chances are higher. Okay. It doesn't mean automatically you will have it, but your chances are higher. So we have not been able to identify exactly what causes it. Just that there are certain factors when they are present, it increases your chance or your likelihood.
Okay, so does wearing braziers for long period or long hours causes breast cancer?
Not at all.
It doesn't.
So braziers is just part of clothing.
Okay.
Okay. So it would have no link to you developing or producing more estrogen.
Okay.
No. The only thing that certain braziers can cause is that if you don't wear brazier that is appropriate for your breast size, if it's too tight, you are putting pressure on the skin. Okay. So then you develop a sore or you develop pain over there, which we will describe as pressure necrosis. Okay. Okay. Or if the brazier is not able to absorb the sweat, like you sweat a lot under, then you may be having some skin conditions or some form of dermatitis under the breast, but it does not cause breast cancer.
Okay. So what are some of the symptoms?
Symptoms of breast cancer are very, very varied, and there are a lot. Okay. Commonly, breast cancers can appear as a solid mass in the breast or as a change in the skin or the nipple. Okay. So I'll mention a few of them. Okay. If you are a woman, you notice that the skin of your breast is becoming rough, like the skin of an orange. Okay. You see how the skin of an orange is not very smooth, like how banana skin is. The skin is becoming like an orange skin. That is one of the presentations of cancer. Okay. You quickly have to get to a hospital. If you are a woman, you are developing a sore on your breast, either the breast tissue itself or around the nipple, and this sore doesn't seem to be going, quickly get to a hospital and get yourself examined. If you are not breastfeeding, you've not had any injury, and you are having bleeding or you are having a sore, it could be bleeding or not, you need to see a doctor. If your nipple, the nipple is supposed to project out. Okay. So if this is your skin, your nipple is supposed to be everted. Okay. Meaning that it's protruding outward. Okay. And that you've observed that you have an everted nipple, and all of a sudden the nipple is moving inwards, retracted, nipple retraction. It means that something inside the breast is pulling it back. It's one of the features of cancer. If you're having a solid mass in your breast, some people would describe it as it feels like stone, it's hard like stone. These are even the advanced stages of breast cancer. If you are having a bloody discharge from your nipple is just to have milk coming out. If you are having bloody fluid coming from the nipple, it is a warning sign. You need to quickly see a doctor.
Okay, but Dr. Kenny, hold on. Before you go on, you said if you are able to feel all that, meaning that is even the advanced stage. So how would you be able to detect it early?
Good question. So everybody should know their bodies. Okay. So that's why in the course of the program, we will demonstrate how to examine the breast so that you know how your normal breast feels like. So at any point when you see any change, anything that is not there, that was not there, that you are now finding, you need to seek medical attention. You have to go have a thorough examination. A medical practitioner will examine it. If necessary, will send you for certain images, like we do mammography. It's a type of picture we take of the breast. Not completely like an X-ray, but a form of it. So we take that mammogram of your breast. Then that will help to identify if it is a cancer or not. Sometimes we would even have to take a sample of the tissue of the whatever is inside the breast. Some people will just feel like there is a lump, like a swelling within the breast. Any of these things should warrant early medical attention so that we can assess and know what to do. Because the key word is that it is treatable. When we detect the cancer early enough, it is treatable completely. All right. We will go into details.
So as you can all see, I think I have a t-shirt here. Doctor, please kindly read what is here.
Believe there is hope for cure.
So doctor just said that early detection means that you can actually be cured. And the t-shirt said, well, you should believe that there is what? Is it hope? Hope for cure. So right now we are going to let our doctor maybe demonstrate. I wish we could have brought someone here for him to do that. Other people were saying, give yourself, let them do it for you. But as ladies, we should be able to do self-examination at home. So doctor is going to illustrate it so that as we are home every day, we should be able to check those things. So doctor, kindly help us with how all those things are done.
Good. Before I go into the demonstration of them, you asked about symptoms of cancer, and I mentioned some few. Now, however, there are certain other symptoms that are not suggestive of cancers. So we shouldn't be worried if you have heard any of the things I mentioned. You just have to get to a hospital, let a medical person examine you. There are some people, like during breastfeeding, the nipples may crack and become a bit sore. Those are not signs of cancer. And then there are people whose breasts become swollen. You touch it, it is hot, and it's developing an abscess. Those are infections, and they can easily be treated. They don't fall under the cancer.
So the right thing is, as soon as you see any change, you should go to a medical practitioner for that to be examined. That's fine.
Now, in examining the breast is on the chest, anterior chest wall, over the what we describe as pectoralis, the muscle on your chest wall. What you see in men as macho, and we have the pectoral muscle, pectoralis. So to be able to have a full assessment of the breast, you need to stiffen or tighten that muscle. So one way to do it is putting your hand at your waist, and standing in front of a viewing mirror or a dressing mirror, or you put your hand above your head.
Something like this?
So it makes the pectoralis, the muscle over your chest, it stiffens it a bit firm so that you can have a full assessment of the breast. Now, one of the things you should look out for is vision. What you see, you look before you start touching. So you look at the breast. Now, and the breast extends into the armpit. What we call the axilla, the armpit. So the breast goes all the way back into the armpit. And there are certain people who have swellings either in the armpit or along the side here, what we describe as mammary line. If you look at some animals, dogs, pig, the female, you see that under the belly, you see nipples, breasts all along. We are like them.
So we also have
So there are some people who have accessory breast, extra breast, either in the armpit or along the line on the flank, what we call the mammary line. Okay, so any swelling that you find in your armpit or along this line that appears to be maybe at the time you're having your periods, it gets a bit swollen and engorged. After your period, it goes down or it reduces. It's likely to be an accessory breast. And once it is an accessory breast, it can also develop anything that the breast actually itself can develop. So there are people who have extra breasts. That's what we describe as accessory breast.
I never knew that.
And other people is just an extra nipple.
Okay.
So these variations are there. Now, going to examine, so as you are looking, you look and see if there is any swelling that you can see. And also, you lift the breast to look under it. You know, some people
but if one of your hand is here, how do you lift?
You just
with
put
the
your
other
hand
hand.
under, you just lift it. That's why I said when you are in front of a mirror, it is easier. So the mirror, you can see under the breast what is beneath. Is there any rash? Are there any skin changes? Is there any sore developing there? Okay. And also you look at the nipples. Now when you stand in front and you do this on the two sides, you put your hands at your waist or stand like Kimbo, or you put your two hands above like this. Your nipples are supposed to be looking outward and moving in a lateral direction. They shouldn't be looking
straight
or pointing facing each other. They should stand out and be pointing outwards. So the nipples, that's but some people, because they are heavy, the nipple may be looking downwards. That one is not a sickness. But somebody whose breast is firmly at the chest level should be looking outward. And the nipple should be, I mentioned, everted, should be pointing outwards.
Not
inwards. So you look around. Is there any redness anywhere? Are there rashes? Now, after looking, if you don't find any of those things, then you begin to touch, or what we describe as palpate. You feel the breast. That's
how do you do that?
So, with the flat of your palm, just as the military or the police officers will salute. With the flat of your palm. That is what you use to feel or examine the breast. And then, so your right palm is going to examine your left breast. And then your left palm will examine your right breast. So if you want to examine the left breast, so my left arm goes above like this, or at the waist.
So it's either like this or like this, the one you feel comfortable.
And you are bare chested. Now, then you, with an imaginary line, so you divide the breast into 4 zones with a line straight from above through the nipple down, and then from the side also through the nipple to the side.
How do you divide it? Do you just imagine?
Imaginary. So you would examine with this and that. So you put on the breast and press against the chest wall. That is the way to feel it. You press against the chest wall on the various sides. So the left lower bottom, left upper side, the outer side, then you come down here. After that, then you go to the middle, which is the nipple. Then you do that. And then the 6th is the armpit area. So 6 general or 6 places you do that. Now, if you are heavy, you may have to have maybe several divisions to be able to access all the places. Now, if you hold the breast with the tip of your fingers, you feel tissues. That is the wrong way of examining the breast. Not with the tip of your fingers, but with the flat of your palm. And then you press against the chest wall.
Okay.
Now, when you do this and you feel any lump, any mass in it, let a midwife or a doctor have a second look, and then we take it from there. So when you do this, repeat same for here. Now, the final step will be to express the nipple. Okay. So you see the dark area around or surrounding the nipple, which we call the areola. Now, so you start around that place. You squeeze it gently to see if there will be any discharge.
Okay.
Now, if the discharge that comes is bloody, then you need also to see a doctor. Now, every matured female has some breast milk some breast milk in the breast. Okay, so if you squeeze or you express hard enough, you may express milk, which is not a disease.
Okay.
The only time we say the milk discharge is a disease is where you are not pregnant, you are not breastfeeding, and then the milk just keeps flowing like a tap. That is what, yeah.
Okay, that I'm learning so much, and I hope you are all learning too. Doctor, what are some of the risk factors?
The risk factors for developing breast cancer, as I mentioned earlier, possible a family member, a female family member having breast cancer, or somebody who has had early menarche, or somebody who has had a late menopause, somebody who hasn't been pregnant before. You see, when you get pregnant, there is a disruption in the estrogen exposure.
Okay.
So that whilst the baby is breastfeeding, it gives you some form of break from the continuous exposure to the estrogen throughout. Okay, so that is where many people have the wrong conception that if the breast is sucked, you will not develop.
I was actually coming to that. That would have been my next question, because I've read a lot of books and I've actually done few research. And with my findings, it actually says that when your breast is sucked as a lady, it reduces breast cancer. But this same month, that was last week, I saw on one of the television stations one health practitioner saying that sucking of breast do not reduce breast cancer. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So can it reduce it? So that tell this to our men, because the men think that they do ladies a favor when they do that. So does it really reduce breast cancer, or does it have any health benefits at all when the breast is sucked?
Okay, I'll answer from the last point where you landed. You know, sucking of the breast is one of the maybe sexual. It's part of foreplay, I would say. Like, so when a woman is a very sensitive structure. Now, when a woman's breast is touched in a way, it arouses sexual interest in a person. So it's one of the ways that a husband can arouse sexual interest in a woman in the bedroom if they want to make love. Okay. However, sucking the breast by your partner does not reduce your risk of developing cancer. Okay. Now, the sucking that reduces the risk of cancer, like I was explaining, is when you are breastfeeding. Okay. A suckling baby, you are breastfeeding. So it's a design by nature. Okay. So breastfeeding disrupts the unopposed exposure to that chemical we call estrogen. Okay. So anything that will bring a stop to the exposure of estrogen is likely to reduce your risk. That is how come I mentioned earlier on that a woman who has never had a child or a woman who has never breastfed has a higher chance of developing or higher risk factor of developing breast cancer. It is not the bedroom breast sucking.
Okay.
That is
So normally
being
meaning
referred
that
to.
the nursing mothers,
The nursing
so
mother.
they have an advantage
Yes.
because for now the tissues have stopped growing
Yes.
for maybe probably some month or a year.
Yeah.
But people who normally do not get pregnant or even have kids, they have higher rates. So please, men who think they've been doing favors by sucking ladies' breasts and all that, please, you are not doing them any favor. That is for sexual pleasures, as Dr. rightfully said. I hope I've answered this question because I know a lot of you wanted that question to be asked. So, doctor, what advice do you have for us? Because most ladies, as I'm here, I'm actually scared to just get up and go to the hospital and say I'm doing this or I'm doing this particular examination. So even last year, when we had some health practitioners come to our office to do all the screening and all that, at the point I was asking the lady, am I okay? I'm always scared. Because recently, I think few months back, I went to see a gynecologist because I was feeling some changes actually in my breast and all that. Then I went to him and he said, oh, nothing is wrong. I said, no, all of a sudden it's like, you know, they are getting bigger, I'm growing, inside, like all that. Then he said, oh, hormones, and he was telling me some things. But all I know is I knew my breast size before, and I know the size that I'm buying now for my brazier. So that was what I was just concerned about. So he actually made mention of this mammogram, something, but which he also said normally is for older people or something. So they don't normally advise younger or youth to take those tests because sometimes it's very scary. So most people don't love to do it. So what advice do you have for us? What will push us? What would you tell a sister out there?
Healthcare is in 3 legs: preventive, curative, rehabilitative. So preventive is when we go out to talk to people. You need to keep your environment clean so that you don't get cholera and all those things. So what we are doing now is part of the preventive,
Okay.
the education we are giving. Okay. And then the curative, where we go to hospital because something is wrong with us and we are treated and all that. Now, I've realized that many people are just practicing the curative.
Okay.
They wait till something is wrong with them before they go to the hospital.
Okay. I'm part of them.
Yeah. So we want this to go out to the public, that the hospital is not just there to treat sicknesses. The hospital is there for advice, for counseling. And also our health directorates. There is a health information desk. So you can go there and take information and advice. So any woman, any man, because breast cancer can affect men also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen so far about 4 men who have had breast cancer in their practice.
Please, it's not only ladies, men are also at risk.
Yeah. So anybody who sees a change in his breast or her breast should seek advice or medical attention. So anybody who is watching and listening, so go for checkups, go and have yourself examined. Now, secondly, many people have some negative perception of them losing their breast. Okay, if you are diagnosed of breast cancer and the treatment modalities are different, one of them is surgery. You would have to either take part or all of the breast, depending on the level, the extent of the disease out. And then we also give certain drugs or therapy called chemotherapy. They are drugs, or radiotherapy, radiation, depending on the extent of the sickness. We will choose a combination of these modalities. So if you are diagnosed with breast cancer and your doctor advises for the breast to be removed, please don't say no. Many women are so scared and so protective of the breast that they would want to die with the breast than have it removed. Please, when your disease is detected very early and your doctor suggests removal of the breast or part of the breast, please don't say no. Because many people that I have lost were because they didn't want their breast to go up and waited 6 months down the line. Then the whole place becomes sore. You cannot even look at it twice because it's unsightly, and the thing has spread into the lungs. You know, cancer spread into the lungs you have fluid, water accumulating in your lungs, you cannot breathe. Cancer will spread into the lymph vessels, your arm becomes so swollen, so huge, what we call lymph edema. Just like how we have elephantiasis of the leg. When cancer spreads to your lymph, your arms become so heavy like that. Okay, cancer spreading to the bones, so some of the spines become deformed and you can easily have fractures. So the cancer can even spread to the brain and give you some types of strokes.
Wow, is that dangerous?
Very. So when your breast cancer is diagnosed and your doctor is discussing with you treatment modalities, please, your doctor wants the best for you. So listen to medical advice.
Okay, doctor, so are there maybe some types of food that could help, ladies, or now that I also got educated and men also get breast cancer, type of food or fruit or vegetables that can help us to prevent breast cancer? Do we have?
Yeah, it's been shown that people who smoke a lot are likely, they have a higher chance of developing breast cancer. People who eat a lot of meat have their chances of developing breast cancer increase. So, and people who abuse alcohol also have a higher chance of developing cancers. So live life in moderation. Don't abuse foodstuffs. And eat healthy diet. Our greens, our vegetables. Eat healthy. Breast cancer, some types of breast cancers are linked to other cancers. Cancer of the intestine, like colon, cancer of the uterus. So once you develop breast cancer, the chances are that you can develop cancers of some types. So we advise that you live a healthy lifestyle, exercise regularly, eat healthy, and don't abuse meat, don't abuse alcohol, do not smoke, and do not eat junk food. If you eat junk food, it shouldn't be a habit, it shouldn't be a routine. Every day you are eating junk food, every day you are eating junk, you are increasing your cholesterol level, you are increasing your chances of developing cancers and any other sicknesses. Then another thing about the treatment, faith, belief, and religion, unfortunately, has some effect on healthcare. You see a lot of people listening to their pastors, to their imams, to their priests, or to their spirit people more than medical advice. We believe, I am a Christian, I believe there are spirits, I believe there are forces that we cannot see with our eyes, but we should not over spiritualize things. Health is health, sickness is sickness. So pastors should stop telling people and advising them against breast cancer, even people to the extent of telling them that it is their family member that has inflicted you, come to our prayer camp. No, we should people viewing and listening, please, health is health. God has given us the ability to investigate things and understand certain things. So let us apply science, let us apply medical science to our health, so that we don't follow religious things and end up losing our lives.
I agree with Doctor very much, because there are lots of times that we lose a lot of people because of the spiritual thing. As soon as the person is sick, let's go to the pastor, let's go to this person. And that is one thing my dad will tell you, that you never be sick and you come to him, then you'll say, "Oh, Bishop, pray for me." The first thing is he will ask you to go to the hospital, because God also placed those people there for a purpose. They gave them a gift that he, the bishop, do not have. So as you go to the hospital, then they also pray with you. The pastor is not supposed to pray for you, but normally they're supposed to pray with you. So today I believe Doctor has actually educated us a lot. Please send in your comments, send in your suggestions, whatever questions you have, just send them and you'll be available to respond to all. But before we go, I believe he's having maybe online consultation or something, so he'll share all those links, media handles, so that whenever any of you have any question, you are free to contact him.
Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, technology is changing, the world is changing, and we are also changing accordingly. Now, healthcare is no longer walking to a hospital before you get access to a doctor. Cedarville Hospital has come up with a software, we call it Quick Med, in that we do online consultations. Okay, so through WhatsApp, you can send your questions, we can have video chat, and we give you medical advice. Okay. And we also have a mobile application. You can find it on Google Play Store or App Store.
So what's the name of the application?
Quick Med.
Okay.
Quick Med. QUCKMED. QUCK. Quick Med.
Okay.
Quick Med Ghana. On our social media handles, we are Quick Med Ghana. And our telephone line is very, very simple and unique. 0555 911 911.
Wow.
0555 911 911. Send a WhatsApp on that line and you have a doctor answering your questions. We can consult, we can come to your home wherever you are.
Wow.
We dispatch medical team to your location to take care of you.
Wow, that is so nice. I think I've given you a lot of healthcare this evening. Wherever you are, if you are going through anything, you've got the contact numbers, you've got the platform. That's Quick Med Ghana. Quick Med Ghana. Quick Med Ghana. That is QUCK.
Yeah.
Okay, so Quick.
QUICK.
Okay, so you omitted the I. Was wondering. Okay, so QUICK.
Yeah.
Quick Med Ghana, and the number is 0555 911 911. So easy to keep. So please send in your question. I keep saying that, ladies, our health is our beauty, and as we close this month of October, we need to be alive so that next year by now we would have all gone for our medical screening. As I'm already here, I think I'll have mine before I leave this consulting room. So doctor, do you have any final words? Then we say bye-bye.
Thank you for the opportunity, Leila Medad Foundation. And Cedarville Hospital in Hohoe is open to anybody who wants to come for medical checkups. And also, as we put out the contact number of Quick Med, we are available for any medical advice. However, if you are in Hohoe and you want to get in touch with us, you can get in touch on 054 124 9464. 054 124 9464. And remember, life is one. You need to take good care of yourself. Whatever plan, whatever ambition you have, if you do not have good health, you cannot achieve it. Take good care of yourself. Go for a medical checkup. Don't stay at home and say, for 10 years I've not been to hospital. No. Health is preventive, curative, and rehabilitative.
Wow. I actually think he has actually summed it up for us. I thank you all for making time with the Leila Medad Show once again. Please share this video. Save a sister, save a brother, because we all learn that breast cancer do not affect only women, but it actually affects all of us. So please share this video and let a brother or a sister be saved. Early detection, please run to the hospital. Stop spiritualizing everything. Our life is important. God gave wisdom to our medical officers. That is their work. Let them do their work, and let our spiritual fathers also do their work. Once again, I thank you so much for making time with the Leila Medad Show, and thank you very much, Dr. Do Roberts. You have no idea. Taking a doctor out of his consulting room for close to an hour. You have no idea. I'm so glad to him, and thank you so much for making time. And hope when we call upon you anytime, you always welcome us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My life is service to humanity. That is what I live for.
Thank you so much, and thank you all, and God bless you all, and have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.